And hello, everyone. Welcome back to FPL in the Trenches, Frontline Prediction League in the Trenches, Frontline League on Twitter, Frontline Prediction League here on YouTube. Like, favorite, subscribe, all that fun stuff. This is the FPL. This is the recap show for Forbidden Door and the preview show for Money in the Bank. More on that as we go. I am your co-host, Scott. Joining me, as always, is BeerMe. How are you doing, BeerMe?
I'm doing pretty good, Scott. The weather's not bad here today. We had some storms early in the morning, and smoke from all the Canadian fires
Yeah,
is cleared out. So
I've seen some photos of the smoke and how it covered, like, New York City and things. Like, I'm lucky where I'm at in
yeah,
Thunder Bay. We just don't have it. We did get like some smog, I think, on Monday. It was a little
yeah,
bit
it's
the
pretty
week off, but
nuts.
where I am here, it didn't hit as much because like I don't think the smoke's hitting like Minnesota and stuff like that. That's kind of where I'm at
Mhm.
regionally. If I was in Southern
Yeah,
Ontario, it'd be worse. It's more
yeah.
down that way, so
They said Chicago was like the worst place in the United States for that
yep,
yesterday, and I'm
yep.
like 3 hours like on a train away from that, like south. So yeah, we had it pretty bad, but I mean, it's clear now, so I can't complain. But how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. It's whatever. It's busy. It's gonna actually get super busy next little bit because I'm covering for a coworker for the next like 3 weeks, and that's always
Oh
like
no.
it's all yeah. Those who have followed along know that those are busy days for me, and they fly
Hmm.
by and they're nonstop. They're great because they fly by, but it's 3 weeks and it's gonna be long. But yeah, it's gonna be good. Ironically, it's because my coworker is going over to England, and that's where we're heading for Money in the Bank. So there's my segue there, but. Otherwise, things are good. Like I said, no smog here. Things are fine. It's chilly out today. I say as it's 15 degrees, but we're so used to those 30s. I'm wearing a sweater anyway, so it's been some interesting weather. But yeah, no, it's going to be a busy one for the FPL because we've almost got a show a week now. Like the summer is here, and we had a show last weekend. We got a show next weekend. We skip a week, and then we got a show, then we got a show, then we got a show, and then I think we skip, and then we got a show, and yeah, yeah. So let's dive in, Bear Me, because we got two things to cover this week. We have AEW's Forbidden Door, which was a very fun show, legitimately. We talked about that a bit on Top of the Card Podcast, which is Top of the Card Pod, before the event, so that's a thing. But that's over where you get your Spotify's, your Google Plays, where you get your podcasts. You can find it there. But our version, FPL Forbidden Door, was an interesting show, which again had CT working. I believe he worked with the list he had from last time, which was all thanks to James Costner in our Discord, who coordinated and got outsiders in. It was all his idea originally. He is the one who opened our Forbidden Door and got these outsiders in. And through that, CT's actually made contacts. He did participate in, I think it was a tournament elsewhere to build up stuff and actually make some more contacts. So we had some returning faces, some new faces, and it was a big, crazy time. Let's dive in to a sore spot, Beer Me, because Mad Cat, Aiden Akagi, Nier, and Akira Una beat FBU, the FPL World Champion Broken Nerd, the FPL Continental Tag Team Champions, the Must See Good Guys, Beer Me Jesus, that's you, and the Jimmy G, your friend of mine, and Bastion. You guys lost. It was close, though. It was 216 to 209, and we're talking four people. That's like one match worth from two parties, like stuff like that. That's all it took. They picked good.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys both picked very good. Literally 50 points each, like on average. And the next match, it was 53-51. So there you go. But the Outsiders did win. That is now 2 years in a row that Mad Cat has beaten the FPL World Champion at Forbidden Door. He did it last year against World Champion CJ Hawk. He was, I believe, the FGP Phoenix champion at the time. Because I had former in the list of stuff when we were doing the write up. But he beat Broken Nerd this time. And the tag champs. He's literally beaten, well, the world champ twice and the tag champs in 2 matches at Forbidden Doors. I presume, I'm saying it right now, he's probably in the main event next year if he's coming back. Like, let's be honest on that. But
Right.
how do you feel about that afterwards? How's that feel now?
I mean, I'm a little upset. I can't lie to you. It's. I mean, hey, they just predicted better than we did. We picked Okada for a lot more points, and he tapped out clean to a one-arm man. something he hadn't done in 10 years. So, yeah, we put more points on Okada, and that's what hurt us. But we didn't see Okada losing, and they apparently thought it was possible. So,
Yep.
hats off to them.
Yeah, those guys all did very, very well, and like I said, they got the advancement over in the War Games, and we'll see what happens next time, because that is not only is Mad Cat 2-0 over the world champion. The world champion is 0-2 in Forbidden Doors, regardless if it's Mad Cat or not, but it is. But also, that means we've lost the main event of Forbidden Door twice now. Like, our own event, the Outsiders have beaten us both times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Part of me kind of loves that, because it's a cool story to tell. But we'll get there. We'll see what happens next time. But hopefully some of these guys stick around. I actually know a couple of them are, so that's a fun thing. Last year, that was James Blake as one of those guys. He became world champion at WrestleMania, lost it since, but is still the European champion. FPL European Grand Prix Championship was defended by Blake against CM Carlito. 2 points, but he got 5 retentions now. And that's a very unique, small club of people who've successfully defended the tag titles. Or any title, rather, that many times. I think tag titles because you're defending this weekend, but nobody's defended things 5 times except for like 3 people. Blake is one of them with the Euro title. So, very, 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 very curious to see where it goes from there. Like, who's the next challenger? Because it's not going to be long. It's going to be Slammiversary in like 2 weeks' time. So,
yeah, hopefully it just keeps retaining. Hopefully it just keeps going.
we're at a point now where I kind of want that. Yeah, like, I like that. Yeah,
I am enjoying it. Yeah. So hats off to James Blake.
Absolutely. We have a new LLR World Champion. James Costner defeated Larry. And I simply love the fact that we had a World Championship for the LLR change hands at an FPL show. I love that.
Yeah.
That is the coolest. I was bummed the 420 title didn't change hands last year. More on that as we go. But the fact that happened, like, if you go through the LLR World Championship history, you will see a title change from Larry to James Costner at FPL Forbidden Door. It's like, what?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I love stuff like that. But I know Last Blue Hero, the owner of the FPL, or of the LLR, was involved in that. There's a lot of stuff. Go read the write-up. Go check these out. Check out all these write-ups, by the way. We're going to just talk about them and skim through these, but... Cassius,
hey, and Larry's going to stick around. So.
Yeah, he's interested. Like, he's not letting it go. So Larry has put in stuff, and he's intrigued. He's like, okay, I see what things are going on here, and he's not leaving yet. He's Tomohiro Ishii on Dynamite with Moxley. He's like, he's not gone yet. So, but we have Cassius making his FPL debut through the Forbidden Door on his retirement tour, defeating Smooth Rock. That's wild.
He didn't do the job. He said, nope, screw that.
Well, it's a retirement tour, so he's not done yet. So.
Right.
But yeah, Smooth Rock did lose. We also have a Survivor Series match. The Outsiders beat Team FPL, and it pains me to say the Outsiders, not meaning myself and Lee. It's Team Outsiders. Captain Krulix Blackwell, Static, David Grayskull, Rufus Bear, and Pushino, because we did have Bay Breaka no-show. So I had to replace that. And I mean, storyline-wise, there was an article about how we couldn't get through, and there was contractual negotiations. But Pushino was the last-minute replacement and got the win over Team FPL. CJ Hawk, Lexi Briggs, Cam Popplestone, the Canadian champion, Hiroshin Moses, and Alexander McKennedy. So yeah, that's Cam lost, you guys lost, Nerd lost. Blake won and retained, but all the champions so far have lost.
Pretty much, yeah.
And I'm racking my brain to remember the American champion. Why can't I remember who the American champion is? It's JJ. Yeah, we'll get to him. Yeah. We'll get to that. But yeah, the Outsiders won. And there's the list there. Static kind of came through at the end there. I mean, Static and Krulix are a part of ours, but they debuted at the Forbidden Door last year, so it's a very, very intriguing way they go about that. So, kind of fun stuff. I like that a lot.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Josh
Yono defeated MRC. Spoilers. Ralantando was under the mask. Who read that? It's pretty cool. It's some fun stuff. The best reaction, Luke Gray, Tino, and Icon defeated... Sorry, no, they didn't. Went to a no contest with Simple Destruction. JJ Rocky, the American champion, Sheriff Dog, and Mark Harper. The FPL champions did not win in these showcase matches. At least he didn't lose this one. But again, go read the results for these. Go read the write-ups. There's some cool stuff in there. But imagine that, 170 170. Like, what are the odds? Speaking of the 420 title, Last Blue Hero lost it to Jonathan C.T. Martin. CT captured the title. So there's been 2 title changes here, and neither of them are FPL titles. Now, granted, the 420 title is not really home to any promotion, but CT said he will go elsewhere to defend it. So very, very cool stuff with that. I like that a lot. So we'll see where that goes. I've said the word intrigued a lot, but this kind of show does that. So I guess that's where we go from there. Our horror show deathmatch, it was a rough night for Sicko Kid, Jason Blades with that gimmick, is Luigi defeated him on that night. Not good for him in that regard, so a bit rough there. However, the WCP Tag Champions, Blades of Silver, our favorite new team name of these things, Silver Tiger and Macaulay, lost to the FTT, Rick Gillen and Billy Grayson, Johannes. The FTT got a win against the tag champions of the WCP. That's huge.
Yeah, looks like Rick's here to stay.
That's huge. But
yeah, it is.
But Rick Gillen, yeah, he attacked me after my match. I went to a no contest with FDS, so the WCP Pure Champion, so WCP title holders didn't have a good night either there. I mean, you're also the world champion and you didn't win. So yeah, WCP did worse than FPL almost in that regard. But FDS and I went to a no contest. It was a fun match with some respect back and forth. And then Rick Gillen attacked me afterwards and then went to his match. I may have also gotten involved when GMSG had his War Games, but that's neither here nor there. Please read the write-up for this stuff. It's fun, and we're building stuff for Money in the Bank on Saturday, so please check that stuff out. But Halcyon did defeat Ash, which is a big win for Halcyon over Ash, near number 1 contender, so interesting there. Payne beat Chef Urban by a point. The Alpha Dog beat Sebastian Escobar. Alpha Dog getting that win over, not number 2, but the former. Monkey Bong beat Detrick Cyrus. I think we got all these wrong, looking back on them. Chappers, or Stella, and Supreme Rock defeated the Brits. Perk Angle beat Red by a point, which, the BeerMe special. Ray Russell beat Matt Zion. The Arbiter beat Wookie. Mr. Glee returned and beat Viper 1711. Nayara beat Memories. Theodore Dr. Zeus Geisel is back and beat Danny the Light Jordison. Cammy Cat beat Woe and El Cid. Mad Elite Titan returned and beat Dion Blade, who also returned, and Jackson Myrtle. And Kurt Cult beat 3J Platinum and Starzy. There were some triple threats on there to kind of move some stuff up, because it is still a main show technically, so we can see who kind of can bounce up a little bit from those. And when people are coming back, they get in those positions generally, so yeah. Memories had his 25th match. Broken Nerd was in a War Games for the first time. He hadn't done that yet, so that's an FBU rite of passage. Cam was in a Survivor Series match for the first time. The only one out of all 10 who hadn't been in one yet. Granted, the outsiders aren't included in that, but would retroactively if they stick around. That stuff would fill in. That's something GMSG is pained at, but keeps track of. Perk Angle won his 5th match. Static Guy, Still, and Cammy Cat won their 10th. Chappers won his 25th. Cammy and Mad Elite won triple threat matches. Krulek and Static won Survivor Series matches. Grayson and Estella won their first tag match. Rick won his 5th. Detrick got his first match of the night. That's kind of cool. Memories got 500 points, and James Blake and Hero got a total of 1,000. And yeah, the Kickoff show had a lot of fun stuff. There was a lot of craziness through here, like I said, with the 420 title and my match and the attacks, and then the stuff with the Sicko Kid and the 420, and some insanity with Last Blue Hero, and on and on and on. Please go check it out. Please go read this stuff. We put a lot in here. Survivor Series is a particularly crazy thing. There's so much work that goes involved into those. It means a lot that we know people will read these and like them and check them out. So yeah, please do. Now, it's time for Money in the Bank. And I'm feeling I'm getting blue in the face from talking here, because there's so much, but we want to go through this quickly. The picks page is up right now. This is Saturday, July 1st, Canada Day, 3 p.m. Eastern, meaning a 2 o'clock pre-show, meaning a 1 o'clock deadline. So 1 p.m. Eastern. And as far as I understand it, if you were in the UK, the equivalent would be 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Like, I'm pretty sure that's, they're doing it for, like, it's local that time. So don't quote me on that, but it's 3 Eastern, blah, blah. So if you're keeping track of things and looking at SmackDown, which is going to be live from the UK, that's not factoring into this because the picks page is already there. If stuff changes on SmackDown, like a participant added or removed from Money in the Bank, the match is thrown. And then all your points will shift around to accommodate that to fill in the blank of the one that went away. If it happens afterwards, like people are suggesting a certain person from Scotland might come back and adds himself to the match, well, if it happens during the show, the match is thrown out and it's just nobody gets anything for it. No negatives, no nothing. It's just gone. There's no shifting. So keep that in mind, okay? So put your picks in. I'm going to say this a little specifically more because we got these new people sticking around. If you think that LA Knight's going to win, yeah, you put your confidence points of 3 because that's all you think it's going to be. But then you think it's probably going to be Bayley winning the women's one. You only think of 1. Okay, sure. I can't use 3 or 1 anymore. So if I think Finn's going to win, but not really, I'll put a 2. No, I can't use 2 anymore. Gunther, oh yeah, top lock that, absolutely. Riddle's not winning that. But then is it Ronda? I think that one's probably going to be a 6. I can't use 7 again, so that kind of stuff. So keep that in mind. Put your picks in there, and no, these aren't my real thoughts. I'm going to clear this out before I actually submit it. But BeerMe, let's run down the Money in the Bank card. I don't have any matches to add from CT. This card is fully built. This card is fully ready to go. Do you have any matches to add, or are you just ready to go through this? Oh, I've been talking nonstop, so I had to take a drink. Okay. Money in the Bank. FPL World Championship. Broken Nerd of FPU. Defending against number 1 contender, Ash. Kenny Omega versus Roman Reigns in the Avatars. I know you're biased with Nerd, but if he wasn't part of FPU, what do you think? Nerd or Ash?
Tough.
Because Ash is damn good. Like, he's definitely moved up from the American title. Like, he's main eventing for the world. Just like that. So, what do you have here? Who do you pick? I'm kind of thinking Nerd retains, personally. But I know you're biased. I'm trying to think, because Nerd's still new to FBU. That's what I'm trying to look at it. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got total faith. I got faith in Nerd. Okay. Total faith.
All right. Money in the Bank ladder match. Sebastian Escobar, Tino, Luke Gray, James Costner, Sheriff Dog, Mark Harper, Ray Russell, and Smooth Rock. We've got a former Canadian champion, former world champion, and a tag champion, and another Canadian champion. And Costner actually was American, too. I'm kind of leaning on Escobar on this one, personally, but Costner's really hard to bet against. But I've said before, I think I'll say it again, I kind of really want Luke Gray to win it. I just like that idea that he has that. Like, he will not be denied if he has that. So, but what do you think? Who do you favor in this?
It would be cool if Luke had it, but I'm gonna go with the Butcher in the Bank.
Ray Russell.
I'm gonna go with Ray Russell.
Butcher in the Bank is pretty sick too. Not gonna lie, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Is Smooth Rock actually from the UK? His character? Because it's Will Ospreay. Oh, we got a favorite.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
We got a favorite there. Maybe I got to change my pick. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I had to pick the hometown guy.
We'll see.
For home.
Hometown works. Yeah, people know what you mean by that. Yeah, the home field advantage.
Yeah.
Speaking of, the Brits, Papa Snooch and the Gaffer, are challenging for the FPL Continental Tag Team Championship against the must-see good guys, BeerMe Jesus and the GMSG. How confident are you to stuff the Brits in the UK? You gonna do it?
I'm hoping so. I mean, I think we'll get it done. I think we're gonna deny the UK fans.
You're gonna make them boo?
Yeah.
I like that possibility. Yeah, sometimes it's gotta happen. Sometimes you just gotta Roman Reigns it and beat the hometown guy. You know. So there you go. We do have the finals of the 2023 North American Clash. It's a normal match. It's Hiroshin Moses versus J-Mac. Now, I picked J-Mac to win the whole thing early, and I like that a lot, but I like Hero winning it too. I'm not opposed to that. Who do you have at this point, 2 days away? Hero or J-Mac? Because the winner gets to pick who they want to face between the Canadian champion and the American champion at SummerSlam.
I'm going to pick Hero.
Hero? Okay. So I think we've been opposed the whole way through, and I think you picked Hero all the way through once he advanced the first time. Because you were thinking Halcyon early, but I think Hero now. Yeah. So yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
How about this? I wonder who you're going to pick. The Watson Rules match for the FPL Canadian Championship. Cam Popplestone defending against Bastion.
Yeah, it's tough.
I want Bastion not to win.
Yeah.
I want Cam to win that. But I also want Bastion to
No.
win it because that'd be such a good story of him getting that belt now too, right? So, I mean, that's why I wrote him holding the Canadian replica in the War Games. Not gonna lie. So,
I mean, I'd like to see it. All four of us have gold at the end of the show.
he didn't
pretty
get the
dope.
American though when he was going for it. Remember? So, will
He
this be any
didn't.
different?
I, I, I'm thinking. I think it might be. I'm thinking it might be.
Okay. Okay. Has he had a Watson Rules match yet?
I don't think so.
He might have had one, but I'm not remembering it offhand. How about this one? Rick Gillen's retirement match. Rick Gillen versus me, Scott. He wanted this. He called me out. He attacked me. Then he put a promo calling me out. I was his first match because I called him out for our first match here in the FPL. And now here we are over 2 years later, and he's calling me out for the last one. I did win the first one, then lost the date night tag match with him and Rate Wrestle against me and Red. So I'm confident, but we're going to the UK. Like, I know full well I'm the bad guy in this story.
Yeah.
And I can be a bad guy, though, so that's okay. But what do you think? Do you think he's going to win this one, or have I got it?
I want to see Rick continue on this, so I'm gonna pick him. But I mean, it could go either way. I Yeah, I'm gonna pick Rick though. I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I get it. Well, I'm going in the UK against
Hmm.
Scotland.
Hey, I mean,
yeah,
we're gonna be the outsiders there.
that's true.
You know.
That's true. How about this, though? The FPL American Championship is being defended. It is an Ultimate X match with JJ Rocky defending against the three who went into a no contest. Alexander McKennedy, former champ, Chappers, former tag champ, and Perk Angle. I like JJ retaining. I love the idea of McKennedy winning it again. But Chappers and Perk are also really, really cool options. But I'm picking JJ to retain, personally. Who have you got?
I was gonna do the same, but I really kind of want Perk Angle to win it. But I'm gonna pick JJ to retain.
Okay. Do you think Ultimate X factors into that?
I think a little bit. That's gonna be. Well, I mean, there's only gonna be how many? There's what, seven?
7.
7 matches on this card? Yeah, it could. It could.
Okay.
Let's see.
Next up, we have a triple threat match. The winners go on to the FPL Continental Tag Team Championship #1 contenders match. So there is another tag title #1 contender match that's coming up. The Must See Good Guys or the Brits will defend against the winners of that match. This match is to have someone advance to that. So it is Black Cross Light, Alex Kiyama and Jason Blades, Matt Zion and Rab, and the Light of the Cult, Danny the Light Jordison, and Kurt Cult. The winners of that match go into a contenders match. So it's a little mini tournament kind of thing, but we're trying to sort out who advances, who gets another shot, because all these teams have either had a tag title shot or been in a contendership match. I think they've all had a shot, actually, now that I really look at it. And it's been since you guys won the belts. I think it might have been against the prior teams. Shade and Smiles might have been a defense against one of them, and the Strays were involved in there, and SOD, or MBPA rather. But who do you see advancing here? Black Cross Light, Matt and Rab, or Light of the Cult? I'm not saying Matt and Rab. There's only 7 matches. They're probably not going to pull that off. I'm thinking Light of the Cult. That's the soft spot. I keep seeing them wanting that. I do like Black Cross Light a lot, and they're probably going to do it, but I love the idea of Light of the Cult getting that shot.
Yeah, I want Light of the Cult to win it too.
Forgive me, I'm yawning a lot, but it's dreary and dark now, and I'm tired. We're working through this. We're getting through this. We had the Border Crossing Finals. This was the loser bracket of the 8th. They didn't win. They flipped sides, and now we have a normal match between the Arbiter and Halcyon. The winner of this match faces the other champion. So if the winner of the North American Clash chooses the American Championship, the winner of this match will face the Canadian champion at SummerSlam. So it's a good way to kind of keep things with the similar people on the other side of things. Instead of suddenly trying to figure out in like 3 weeks with no shows, who's the other contender? That was a problem last year, though it did work. But we looked and went, oh, that's kind of ugly. What if we do this? And Border Crossing's too good of a name. I take all the credit on that. But it's a fun name. It's a fun way to do it and work with what we got. And flip the bracket where the American people go on the Canadian side and vice versa. So you lost your hardcore match? Cool. Watson rules. Go. Are you thinking Halcyon? Or are you going with Arbiter on this? For this side of things. Normal match again, remember.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Halcyon.
Okay. I'm thinking Halcyon as well. But Arbiter, I'm going to go Halcyon. I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to go with Halcyon on that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
That questioning, keep that in mind for when the comes out and we're like, I should have picked Arbiter. But something's like, maybe, but no, I'm thinking Halcyon. This time. Again, just because you lost a tournament or lost a round and went to the final thing, it doesn't mean you start from scratch necessarily. You're still in the conversation. So, Shades and Smiles. CJ Hawk and Lexi Briggs are facing the Strays, Michael Marsh and Supreme Rock. It's hard to be against the Strays, but I think Shades and Smiles are going to win this one. How about you?
I think so, too.
Think so?
Yep.
And that's it. We have no matches for the kickoff. They'll be announced as we go. Slammiversary is coming up on July 15th, and let's look at some dates here just to make sure people know. Death Before Dishonor is literally a week after that on Friday, July 21st. Great American Bash is July 30th. It's a Sunday, so keep these in mind. There's some weird dates coming up. SummerSlam is August 5th. Payback is Saturday, September 2nd. And then All Out is in there on September 3rd, so back-to-back. If All In is a pay-per-view, which I doubt considering it wasn't mentioned at Forbidden Door, so it would be covered, but we're not covering All In as of this moment. But Fastlane is October 7th, because that's the weird date they have for it now. And Bound for Glory is October 21st, and yeah, WrestleMania is coming next year as well. So lots of stuff coming up. It is a lot of fun. Please, please, please go put your picks in the pages live right now. You can go through the link down in our Discord, and then you can go into Make Your Picks. It is in there for everyone. You can see the live event chat, because Impact is on right now. People are talking about it. You can see the stuff with spoiler chat. If you want to hear stuff about the NXT that got taped from last week, you can look at that stuff and go see that there, or the Impact tapings and things, and all that kind of fun stuff. That's all in there. Actually, live event chat's going to be going at 5 a.m. when Impact has their Australia shows. I just realized that's going to be a thing suddenly, too. But go in there, do the character chat, see the write-ups, look at the event history, look at the profiles. Jimmy G does that stuff. Lots of crazy, fun stuff in there. We appreciate it. This is general chat, too, so it is a lot. We put a lot in there, and we're really happy with what's going on in there for the most part with the conversations and things. It's a lot of fun. I like it. Regardless of how tired I seem right now, it does make me smile when stuff is in there and things are going off, and it's like, oh my God, his arm, what happened to it? And then he taps and BeerMe gets upset for 3 days. You know. These things happen, right, BeerMe?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
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 But this is going to be a thing coming up for the next few weeks, BeerMe. As I end it, throwing it to you with any last words for the show this weekend, which is something we're going to say for most of this week, or this month. Anything for the show this weekend?
Good luck to everybody, and make sure to get your picks in, and we'll see you next week.
We will. I know there's no time travel, as I noticed the prediction page for picks. The Pricks page. That's almost what's going to be called now. Hey, did you go to the Pricks page yet? The picks predictions? The predictions for picks? It says Money in the Bank 2022. It's 2023. Canada Day. We'll see you this July 1st. It'll be there. Again, it is 3 o'clock. Your deadline is 1 p.m. Eastern. Figure that internationally. Pretty sure, like I said, it's around 8 to 6, whatever. But if you're watching SmackDown, put your picks in. You got time. Think of it that way. If you're the next day, please, 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 get your picks in, get your picks in, get your picks in. This is the main show, and it counts, and there's a lot of fun stuff. So please, 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 get your picks in. Until next time then, next week we'll have the results of this. We'll build with a 2-week build for Slammiversary. We've been building it, don't get me wrong. But we'll have a little bit of a breather there, BeerMe. We'll be able to like recap this and go, and then build up for Slammiversary the next time. And go nuts with it. So thank you, everybody, for checking this out. Again, it's Top of the Card Pod for our wrestling podcast. It is Frontline League for this one. Both get you to the Discord for all this stuff follow into either of those. Go onto the Spotify stuff for that. Subscribe on the YouTube for this. Follow the Twitters. Red does all that. Please, please, please check this stuff out. It is a crazy summer, and we appreciate all of it. It is really, really fun. So thanks again, everybody. Have a good night.